Nobody wins when the family feels.
Be kept, Peter drill with fully stick, but white boy love that Draco pal. Freaky man about the face, soon as he drop that nigga dead. If Lolo drop the bag, I'm on your ass, cause bitch I need that bread.
He running his pockets and still here, yeah. And that nigga got blood all in his face. This the other video right here. I don't know his position in this situation. That's what I'm saying.
My position there.
So I'm saying, so you are white boy homeboy, is what you saying.
Oh yeah, let me clear that up.
Oh, okay. See, I don't even know what you doing here.
So why they saying he robbed you for a gun and you?
Yeah, let me clear that up.
You know me, niggas were really sitting on me, fool. Niggas had me in their palms like this. Niggas had me in their palm like this on my baby. Nigga could have rioted, got me. You hear me? Niggas not on that on my baby. If I see your ass, I'm gonna sit on your ass for 12 hours if I have to, nigga, on my children.
Do the same thing to you, so why not do it to them? Why show them compassion when they ain't gonna show your folk no compassion?
Basically, saying he ain't sparing shit.
Hey, for what? They ain't gonna spare me.
Gonna put it like
yeah,
that.
wait. When if their son end up dead and they come to court, they ain't gonna spare me in the courtroom.
Hey, I know
they gonna want my ass shot.
Nah.
You hear me?
New information coming into the WVTM 13 newsroom. Birmingham police announcing they've made an arrest in connection to the deadly mass shooting in 5 Points South.
Out of Birmingham, we have just confirmed new charges against the man charged in the 5 Points South mass shooting.
His name is Damian McDaniel, and he's now linked to another mass shooting, and court records just reviewed. We see that McDaniel was charged with 11 counts of homicide, killing a...
Fam, I guess we back in Birmingham, Alabama today. It's been a minute. Today we talk about a young rapper who lost his life inside his car, a drill that's becoming quite normal for Alabama. Now what makes this video even more crazier is that this young man's demise comes less than 48 hours after dropping a music video, associating himself with some well-known figures in Alabama. And like they say, fam, sometimes you ain't gotta be the one to pull the trigger, but if you affiliated, according to their enemies, you just as guilty. And that pretty much seemed like the story we got here today. And the thing about this is that a lot of people didn't know this young man was even home. He was just arrested less than a year ago, some serious charges connected to some murderers, which we'll later discuss in the video. Fast forward months later since that public arrest, now he's out shooting music video, shouting out a man who's connected to some bodies. Not to mention connected to a hood that was affiliated with the mass murderer who we also talked about last year. I'll leave the link in the bio. According to Birmingham Police Department, this was a young man who was responsible for 14 bodies in 12 months. Not to mention, this the same neighborhood he's repping that another local rapper was from, who we also covered, identified as White Boy Spin, who some say was set up by the homie he was driving with, a man who was allegedly responsible for killing his ops and 2 females during a gang war. Just like the previous videos, I'll leave the link in the bio. But it goes to show you, we talked about all that. And while some say beef never ends, it's a clear example of that. Some say this man don't be in nothing. Mind his business, get money, and stay out the way. Only him and God know that. But truth be told, when you affiliate with people like this, and you start making music videos, making yourself a bigger target, you gotta know what come with this. It's unfortunate, but it's hard reality. So in today's story, we're bringing it all together, step by step, in order to show you what really led to this moment. It's another sad story, but as mentioned, we headed back to Birmingham, Alabama to pay our respects and go over all public details and try our best to learn from it. Not to mention, keeping the family informed like always. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Family, for all the information we've been putting out in the last 2 years pertaining to Birmingham, Alabama, by going over the black and white by the local police and the district attorney's office, then we know there's been a war going on the west side of Birmingham since 2022. And some say it started after a 19-year-old lost his life, which led to the opposition going on to rap about it. Instantly, not only putting a target on his back, but anyone who was affiliated with him and his crew. Now at this point, we know the link in the bio, and we covered most of this. But to give you a brief rundown, it started back in 2022, in April, when a 19-year-old lost his life. And according to public records, he was affiliated with the street gang operating in Birmingham. The group was one of several street gangs called out publicly by Mayor Randolph Woodfin in a social media post on September 4th, 2022. That young man was identified as Davion Marcel Hickley, aka Trigger or TSMG Trigger Man. He was shot to death in a large-scale assault with multiple shooters on the 800 block of 3rd Avenue West on the border of Bush Hills and Rising West Princeton. At the time, he was identified as a member of H2K, Hard to Kill.
We've been following this morning out of West Birmingham. Police giving us new information in just the last few minutes about what happened.
Jonathan Skinner joins us live. He's been on the scene all morning. Jonathan, what's the newest information?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we just confirmed, of course, this being a homicide within the last hour or so. Police are still on the scene here in West Birmingham. This is just a few blocks away from Princeton Hospital, between Princeton Parkway and 9th Street West in Birmingham. Now, we do know that at least one person was killed. The person was taken to a local hospital in a private vehicle and was pronounced dead at that local hospital. Now, detectives had been on the scene all morning. This happened around 2:30 a.m. and detectives have still been on the scene since around that time. Crime scene tape still up from about the Advance Auto on 9th Street West all the way up to the Burger King at Princeton Parkway, and still investigators are here this morning. And if we came out here, you could actually see still some of the actual bullet holes that are in the side of the Advance Auto parts here. So this was a wide area where this where this incident occurred, and we are still working to get more details right now. We're looking to see if there were any other injuries, any other victims in this situation. But what we can confirm to you right now is that at least one person died here this morning, and this all happened around 2:30 a.m. As we learn more details, we will share those with you as well. Reporting from West Birmingham, Jonathan Skinner, WBRC Fox 6 News.
Rumors is that a retaliation assault was planned at his funeral at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Brighton, which led to an increase of police patrol. Brighton Police Chief Larry Woods attempted to detain a driver of a silver BMW who pulled up to the church with a handgun in his lap, but the suspect fled. TSMG will also take another blow, with another man identified as the white D'Angelo Thomas Jr., aka Didi. He said he'd been driving for TSMG during the shootout while driving a stolen Audi SUV. He was found on the 700 block of 6th Avenue West in Graymont.
Names may have changed. What they do is not. I spoke with former ATF agent and current Calera Police Chief David Heitch to learn more about gang activity here in Central Alabama. He says many street gangs are still selling drugs and firearms. In particular, one of the pillars of many of their businesses will be actually weed, and that's because it's very profitable, in demand, and most police forces are paying attention to harder drugs. Back in Chief Heitch's time with the ATF, he says there are a lot fewer gangs, but that has shifted in the last decades. Gangs have become, quote, more fluid, and because of that, he has no idea how many gangs could be active right now in Central Alabama, and that lack of structure may be behind the recent rash of shootings.
They're about making money, but the shootings are over ridiculously silly.
From the outside looking in at this point, things would look crazy because it seemed that TSMG had a target on their back, but only they allegedly knew by who until someone went to rapping. Not one, but two members from an alleged group called 41st. The rappers was identified as 41st AJ and White Boy Spin. September 2nd, 2022, they dropped a track titled Smacking and Spinning. In those lyrics, you hear White Boy Spin taking credit for the demise of TSMG Trigger Man, going as far saying he got hit in his head from his headshot and also taking the cross off his face from his cross tattoo on the left side of his face.
Hey, fuck it, bitch, I'm going fed. Her Diddy got popped in the neck and the head. Nigga be soft in the tissue like Ted. Got the car in the paw, he got hit in his head. That trigger ain't dead in his head. That trigger ain't dead, but I think he dead. Only one put the little bitch in his bed.
And at this point, not only did these two have the attention of the opposition, they also gained new fans from allegedly living their raps, but they also gained the attention of local authorities. And they also gave every B-roll person who was in this video a target on their back. But shortly after, TSMG will have revenge. 41st AJ will lose his life, following by White Boy Spin. And not only did White Boy Spin lose his life, but Lil Quay will later lose his life. The man identified as taking the shot at TSMG Trigger Man by White Boy Spin in the song Smacking and Spinning. Just a month after that video was released, 41st AJ would take his last breath, becoming the 91st homicide victim in Birmingham that year. It was August 13th, 2022. A barrage of gunfire erupted just before 6 p.m. Friday at a Shell gas station in the 4000 block of Messer Airport Highway, a gas station where 41st was known to hang at. And at this point, it was a lot of back and forth. It was war between TSMG and 41st. White Boy Spin was allegedly connected to multiple bodies, and 2 of them was 2 innocent females at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I don't even want to say at the wrong place at the wrong time, like they don't deserve to go out and hang out, because people want to take their war and shoot up innocent people.
Now. Developing at this hour, Birmingham police looking for the people who shot 5 others at a nightclub this morning, including 2 women who were pronounced dead at UAB Hospital.
Officers believe those 2 women who are mothers named Markesia Atkins and Shavita Willis were innocent bystanders. But the story doesn't end there. Olivia Calmes has more on what police are calling an increase in brazen crime in our community.
Unheard of. That's the word Birmingham police is using to describe this double shooting. One shooting is hard enough to swallow, but now we're learning those suspects followed the victims to the hospital where they were shot at again. Now police are looking for those suspects. Again, those shootings happened in 2 locations, one near a nightclub on 5th Avenue North, and then again outside the UAB hospital where those 2 women went to seek care. Police believe the gunfire stemmed from a targeted attack, but many of the victims who were struck by gunfire appear to have been bystanders. Now, no one else was injured in that second shooting, but both of the victims' car and the UAB police car were shot at outside of the hospital emergency room door. The fact that the shooting continued to the hospital and in plain sight is why police say this is extremely alarming for Birmingham.
From everything that I've seen on social media, they were mothers who were just trying to go out and have a good time Labor Day weekend, and for somebody to open fire on whoever, you ended up killing 2 completely innocent mothers who had nothing to do from it. And we say all the time how many innocent victims get caught in the crossfire during senseless violence, and this morning it just epitomizes that.
Of those injured, one man is now fighting for his life at the hospital tonight. Police say if you have any information, give them a call because they believe these suspects could be a danger to the public. In Birmingham, Olivia Calmes, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
Birmingham's police chief also addressing the shooting in a statement earlier today. He says in part, quote, 2 families were destroyed and 3 other victims will have to live with the scars of this senseless violence for the rest of their lives. The vast majority of our citizens want a safer Birmingham and better Birmingham, yet we continue to have a small group who can only resolve conflict.
But nonetheless, we briefly mentioned why White Boy Spin lost his life. As mentioned, I'll leave the link in the bio. But on December 2nd, 2023, White Boy Spin was gunned down after being shot up, being spotted in a red Honda Accord. As mentioned in the previous video, his demise was recorded like it was planned. Not to mention it was over 30 shots let off just on his side of the car, which made people from his hood believe that the person he was riding with set him up. Maybe true, maybe not. The guy he was riding with had went to Facebook and said he was shot and that he wouldn't do such a thing. But nonetheless, he was gunned down just months after, later identified as BJ McNeil. And when White Boy Spin lost his life and rumors was going around that he was allegedly responsible for those 2 girls losing their life, a man was speaking up for him. A man who's now incarcerated, arrested for murder, allegedly being one of the several suspects who shot a man on camera, taking his belongings, pistol whipping him, dragging him, and trying to shoot everyone he was with. He was also seen on the highly anticipated documentary based out of Birmingham, Alabama, with the serial killer, Damian McDaniel. And the person taking up for White Boy Spin was a guy named Petey, real name Ny'Quan Lollar.
No more, I've been upping that shit. I've been having that shit. That shit, little shit. That little shit you be upping on my baby. Go to, what that nigga Facebook? Who got a phone? Fool, you just had $300 on the floor. On my baby, you just had $300 on the floor.
Hold on.
Embarrass him.
Embarrass.
You just had $300 on the floor, fool. You talking about some money, fool?
Niggas spending on their church and shit.
Niggas ain't even beefing with you and you ain't got shit but $300, nigga.
300? Niggas spend that shit at the food store. Go to the door, man.
Let's do it. On my baby, look at this. Fool ain't got $300 on the floor.
He finna cry. Listen to him. He on that whole Highland.
What the money?
This shit ain't sweet.
What the money pitch at? Oh no, it does some.
He on that whole finna cry.
He talking about come get my Glock back, come get my stick back. You stole it. And if that was me, I I wouldn't even left on my bed. I would have sat on a nigga for 12 hours on my children. If I knew a nigga was sitting on me, I would have. If I knew a nigga was sitting on me, bitch, I wouldn't even, man. Niggas was sitting on me. Niggas were really sitting on me, fool. Niggas had me in their palms like this. Niggas had me in their palm like this on my baby. Nigga could have rioted, got me. You hear me? Niggas not on that on my baby. If I see y'all, I'm gonna sit on your ass for 12 hours if I have to, nigga, on my children. You talking about? And then his little partner talking about, oh yeah, we was sitting on that nigga Peter. We had to leave though, cause we were hungry. We got something to eat.
Shortly after, in October 2024, not only was Damian McDaniel arrested, but also Petey for murder, and he was one of 4 people who was arrested for drug trafficking. Now, Petey was responsible for a homicide on the 81st Place South that happened less than 24 hours after the mass shooting at 5 Points South that, according to Birmingham police, his good friend, Damian McDaniel, was responsible for. Another person he was arrested with was Xavier Brandon Clark. But it seemed he just came home, because less than 48 hours ago from me doing this video, he dropped a music video called Jezzy Flow. Now go by the rap stage name, PaperChaser Zay. And in his lyrics, in Jezzy Flow, he's repping the West Side. And he also shouting out Petey, saying free Petey, that's his boy, and he rocking with him.
Bumpin', thumpin' that West shit. My whole gang, we been lit. Licking rich by 4 bricks. I did numbers all through the city. 1, 2, 3, that's that tough shit. See Lil Petey, he start shit. About that bag, he score shit.
And at that point, despite whatever he had going on, as a husband, a father, a son, a brother, he put gasoline on fire and made himself a target by standing up for somebody with so many enemies. And less than 48 hours later, PaperChaser Zay would lose his life. It was Thursday night, October 9, 2025. PaperChaser Zay had just pulled up home on the 1100 block of Graymont Avenue West when suddenly shots had rained out. According to reports, at around 11:35 p.m., officers arrived at his home and discovered him shot inside his vehicle in the driveway. He was just 28 years old. He was DOA. May every victim of this story rest in peace and love and condolences to their family.
I've got some sad breaking news here. Medical examiners have just identified the man killed in a homicide on Graymont Avenue West as 28-year-old Xavier Clark. They say it happened last night just after 11:30 p.m. That's when officers arrived. They found an unresponsive man with gunshot wounds in a car in the driveway of a home. They say at least 2 cars were towed. You could see them being towed there. There's a white car that was taken away from the premises and a black car. And it's unclear which car he was sitting in, but officers say multiple shots were fired in the area. So far, no one is in custody, but they do say that this is a very populated area and they're asking anyone with surveillance footage or if you know anything to give them a call. Call 911 or Crime Stoppers. At the First Alert Desk, I'm Jazz Williams.
At the end of the day, fam, it's another young life gone too soon, another family hurting, and another community left asking why. And what makes stories like this hit so hard is because behind the name, behind the music, behind all the street talk, these are real people. Somebody's son, somebody's friend, somebody's dream that never got a fair chance to let it play out. And this right here should be a reminder for all of us. You don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. And sometimes protecting your peace means moving away from what you used to feel normal, including the people that's in it. And we don't truly know if him affiliating himself with these people made him a target or something he done. But what we do know thus far is having so many things to look over your shoulders for ain't really what you call living. But nonetheless, once again, rest in peace to every victim that we covered in this story. Prayers to the families. And we praying for everyone who was affected by the story we just talked about. To the family, friends, and everyone watching this, fam, take care of yourself. Stay alert and move with a purpose, because one wrong connection can change everything. With that being said, this was the story of a local rapper from Birmingham, Alabama, who just pursued his rapping career, was gunned down less than 48 hours after dropping a song, affiliating himself with some well-known names connected to murders, drug dealing, and assaults. As more develop, I'll keep you guys updated. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.